Just feeling through the hair now, just feeling if there's anywhere where I think I need to take a little bit more weight out. No, I'm quite happy with that. Okay, at this point I'm going to introduce you to another member of our team, Leo, who is going to take Vicky and revamp her colour. I love the richness of this, but I think to blend with the haircut, I want to see just a little bit more movement and a little bit more texture through it. So we're going to work from dark to medium to really light, sticking with the same kind of tones, and working with a really copper red and a really blue red. And the idea is that we take a section, apply from roots to midlines, and then from midlines to ends, one colour, and on the next section, we reverse that. So you get an almost like kind of marbling effect. Really, really subtle, but really, really effective. Okay, Leo, do you want to come through and I'll show you the sections? We want to work with the haircut. So we'll take that gradation, that kind of inch of gradation, that'll be your deepest colour. Your next colour will work to just above the roll point, and that'll leave us with that teardrop on the top. Okay, and you're working on a base 6, 7, and then your 9s. Great. Okay, thank you.
Hi there, and now we're ready for some colour. So let me explain our sections. What we have is an off-centre horseshoe at the front here. We then have 2 elliptical sections just across the roll point, and then we have our bottom section for our base colour. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be working with a cinnamon base colour through here, then a red copper, and also a bright copper through there, and then a more ruby red and a vibrant orange through the top horseshoe section. So before we start colouring, always applying our barrier cream just round the hairline, making sure that we're not going to get any skin staining. And we're going to take that all the way from here, all round the hairline, and don't forget the back as well. Alright? So let's get started. What we're going to do is we're going to apply the base colour first of all. So taking our base colour and working all the way around the perimeter line, we're going to start to apply the colour. Straight through from roots to ends, and this will give us this really rich cinnamon base colour that will create an undershadow for the rest of the brighter colour at the top. Working round so you can see, keeping it nice and neat and not bleeding on to the other sections that we've taken. So I'm just going to carry on until this section is complete with our base colour. So now that I've finished our colour application, what we're now going to do is to secure the colour and wrap it in foil just to prevent colour contamination. So, taking pieces of foil, popping it just on where you've just applied the colour, and then taking a Kirby grip and placing it and securing it in place. This just helps the foil not slip and make sure that your colour stays covered so that we can then go on to the sections at the top. Again, just placing foil on the front panel. And securing in place with your Kirby grip. So now that we've done the bottom section, we're then going up to our elliptical sections just through the roll point, and we're going to start working in vertical foils. So, taking your first section, working in small sections to start off with. We're going to work this colour back to back. Taking your first piece. This is where we're going to be working with our bright copper and also our copper red. Starting off. And you can paint this right into the root. Fold my foil upwards. And then securing it. Then take our next sections. And we're going to work this all around these two sections through the top. Alternating our colour from our copper red now to our copper. Plenty of product. And then securing our foil. Okay, so we're going to continue that all the way around to the other side. Okay, so now we're going to move on to this top section. This is where we're working with our ruby red and our brighter orange. And what we're going to do is we're going to use a diffusion technique through here. What I mean by that is we're going to diffuse one colour at the root area and then diffuse it in the middle to create another colour through the mid-lengths and ends. So the first foil is going in at the hairline. We're then working with a brighter orange at the root area. Again, taking this right up to the roots and halfway down your section, and then using our ruby red to the mid-lengths and ends. But as not to get a straight line, we're then doing it is we're then diffusing the colour through itself at the middle. A really simple technique that gives you a fantastic result. Then rather than folding the foil for speed, what we're then doing is we're taking another foil and placing it straight on top, so that we can then take our next section and then what we do is we reverse the colour placement, starting off with our ruby red this time at the roots, and then a brighter burnt orange through the mid-lengths and ends. Not forgetting to diffuse those colours through each other as not to end up with a solid line. So again, I'm just going to carry on to that whole section in exactly the same manner, slabbing these foils from there to there in a diagonal section. Okay?
So here we have Vicky. Haircut finished, colour completed. Just put your head down for me. And you can see the difference that the colour has made. It's really brought the haircut alive. You can see all the different tones working through it, but you can't see where one starts and one ends, and that's the nice thing about it. It's just got, as I say, it's almost like a kind of marbling working through it. Working from deeper at the back, through to that mid-tone, and through to the two tones of red and copper over the top. I want to just finish off just a little bit of serum again, just to seal the ends. The haircut itself, again, it's got that kind of slightly French feel to it. But at the same time, the texture and the weight that's been taken out of the haircut and the graduation just lends itself to making it so versatile.